Evolution of 11. 11, with the real name Jane Ives, makes her debut appearance in the live-action TV series Stranger Things, which subsequently received many awards, achieving worldwide fame as one of the greatest television shows ever made, as the central heroine and among the main characters, portrayed by Millie Bobby Brown. Here, she appears as a young 12-year-old Caucasian girl with very short dark hair and wearing various pieces of clothing throughout the first season, such as a hospital gown, a yellow oversized t-shirt, a blue sweatshirt and gray sweatpants, and finally a light pink dress with a blue jacket and a blonde wig. In terms of personality traits, she's quite timid, socially withdrawn, and very cautious of other people, while still exhibiting curiosity, kindness, and empathy. Due to her secluded upbringing, she has a significantly limited vocabulary and understanding of even simple concepts, like friendship or promises, which often leads to misunderstandings with others and requires her own ingenuity in using signs or surrounding objects for communication. While her powers most commonly include telekinesis, in addition to biokinesis, portal manipulation and dimensional travel, extrasensory perception and psychic projection, which she all demonstrates and develops to varying levels throughout the series, it is also revealed that the more powers she uses, the weaker she becomes, requiring her to rest. In the story of the first season, set in 1983 in the town of Hawkins, Indiana, after she escapes from Hawkins National Laboratory, where she was held by Dr. Martin Brenner, whom she calls Papa, and who raised her as a test subject in order to explore and develop her psychokinetic abilities. She soon encounters several local boys, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, who befriend her, give her the name 11, or L, based on her tattoo with the same number, and provide her with shelter in Mike's basement. Sometime after, she learns that the boys have been looking for their friend Will, who had suddenly disappeared, and helps them locate him with her powers in a parallel dimension, the Upside Down, where he is being hunted by a creature called the Demogorgon. In the course of the season, as she, together with the boys as well as their relatives and friends, investigates Will's disappearance, her past gets illuminated along the way, revealing her catatonic mother, Terry Ives, who was also an experiment subject while pregnant with her, which resulted in 11 developing her special abilities and prompting the government's interest in using her for their goals, as well as her present, revealing her passionate love for waffles, called Eggos, and also her romantic interest in Mike, with whom she becomes closer with each episode, and who even prompts her to use her powers in an even more powerful way than ever before, frequently to protect him. As she heroically demonstrates at the end, while Will is being rescued by his mother and her friend, Police Chief Jim Hopper, by defeating a Demogorgon who had entered into their dimension, disappearing along with him as a result. Next, Elle can be seen multiple times in the animated TV series The Simpsons, making cameos in the episodes such as Springfield Splendor, where a person is seen dressing up as her for a sci-fi convention, then in Treehouse of Horror 30, which is a parody of the first season of Stranger Things, where, in a similar plot, Lisa, who plays the role of 11, helps to find the missing Millhouse, who had been kidnapped by a Demogorgon, for which she has to use a sensory deprivation device to enter the over-under. But after getting trapped there, she initially gets horrified until a Demogorgon informs her that there is affordable housing and excellent schools as well as local shops and restaurants here, prompting the Simpsons to live in the over-under. And finally in Murder, She Wrote, where the Van Houten family dresses up as characters from the show for their cruise, with Millhouse being 11. Then Elle reappears in the second season of Stranger Things, set a year after the past events, continuing her journey. Here she appears with much longer curly hair and is now mainly wearing oversized clothes originally belonging to Hopper, among others, as well as the blue hair clip that originally belonged to Hopper's late daughter, Sarah. In the story, the details behind her disappearance after defeating Demogorgon get revealed, showing her waking up in the Upside Down and returning back through a portal in the Hawkins Middle School, after which Hopper takes her into his cabin in the forest, where he hides her from everybody for a year in order to keep her safe. In the meantime, she manages to significantly expand her vocabulary via talking with Hopper and watching the TV, as well as gains even more control over her powers, lessening their tiring effect on her, and is now able to project her mind even without the use of a sensory deprivation tank, which she utilizes to remotely listen to Mike's attempts to contact her, becoming more frustrated day after day because of her inability to reply or reunite with her friends again. One day, however, after she finds some hidden records inside the cabin, discovering that her biological mother is still alive, she decides to escape and meet her, after which she learns the story about her birth and her mother's condition, additionally revealing her laboratory sister from her childhood, whom she decides to find next. Upon meeting and reuniting with number 8, or Kali, she teaches her how to employ her anger to boost her powers, after which she decides that it is time to return to her friends and save them from the danger she has been feeling they were in. With her managing to get to them on time, she saves them from a demo dog and reunites in a heartwarming fashion, as well as later ventures with Hopper to the Hawkins laboratory in order to close the gate to the Upside Down, which she successfully manages to do with her new power control tactics. At the end, after Hopper legally adopts her through forging her documents, she is able to attend the Snowball at Hawkins' school, where she dances with Mike and shares their first kiss as a couple, while the Mind Flayer, which is a giant entity from the Upside Down, observes them from above. Following, Elle returns in the 3rd season of the show, where she's now a 14-year-old girl with even longer hair, which now reaches her shoulders, and initially continues to wear Hopper's old clothes until Max, a new girl in their school and her new friend, takes her to the mall and buys her colorful and more trendy outfits to wear. Though by the end, however, she reverts back to wearing Hopper's plaid shirts, while her speaking ability and sociability are even better than before, making her indistinguishable from other people. By the beginning of this story, she has officially been dating Mike for several months, living her life as a regular teenager, which bothers no one but Hopper, who, since adopting Elle, has developed a fatherly instinct to protect her from every danger possible, leading to him directly instructing Mike to date her on his conditions or not at all, while not telling anything to her. Mike's deceptive behavior, in turn, causes Elle to seek advice from Max, who shares with her her knowledge in the questions of dating boys as well as spends fun time with her at the new mall, which coincides with Mike, Lucas, and Will looking for the present for her at the same place. But after they meet, Mike's repeated deception prompts Elle to openly break up with him, following Max's relationship advice, and leave to have fun and spend girly time with Max on their own. However, as they use Elle's powers to spy on various people for their amusement, Elle soon notices Billy Hargrove, Max's older brother, appearing to act erratically upon being watched, prompting her and Max's worry and suspicion, leading to them revealing that Billy has been overtaken by the Mind Flayer, which actually wasn't eradicated from their world, in order to capture even more people. Their discovery prompts their regrouping with the boys, after which Flayer attacks them, and even though Elle managed to hold it off, it still injured her and left a piece of itself in her leg, which upon its removal left her with no powers. Despite this, she still managed to help Billy overcome the Flayer's control by recalling his happy childhood memories, prompting his self-sacrifice in order to protect her. Meanwhile, Joyce and Hopper close the portal to the Upside Down, with Hopper disappearing in the explosion, causing Elle and others a lot of grief, thinking he died. At the end, after Elle reveals to Mike that she still loves him and shares a kiss, she leaves Hawkins alongside the Byers family, not knowing what awaits her next. Elle reappears in the 4th season of the series, set in 1986, 8 months after the events of the previous season, now having her hair length past her shoulders, with the blue hair clip, and also wearing various pieces of clothes, including a dress. In the story, in addition to exploring Elle's present life as she tries to adapt to a new and yet challenging environment at a new school, it also follows her journey of returning her powers as well as her deep past, which even she had forgotten. Specifically, after she accepts the offer to come back to the Hawkins lab, she gets put into a sensory deprivation tank and thus recovers repressed memories of her early childhood at the lab, which reveal her connection with the experiment number 1, also known as Henry Creel, who was the originator of all the other children's powers, including her own, showing her being manipulated by him to remove an implant in his neck that suppressed his powers, thus letting him loose to commit all the evil he wants, including killing everyone at the lab but her and Brenner. However, after she refuses to join Henry in eradicating humanity, They engage in a battle, with Henry initially gaining an upper hand, but after Elle recalls her happy memories with her mother, she manages to overpower him to the point of opening a portal to another dimension and sending him into the Upside Down, where he becomes Vecna, the ruler of the Upside Down as well as the mastermind behind all of the inexplicable and horrible events taking place in Hawkins. Then, after she reunites with Mike and others, she meets with Vecna yet again while trying to fight him and simultaneously protect Max, with him overtaking Max's even happiest memories and at first trapping both her and Elle, until Mike and others begin to support her, thus giving her enough power to break free of Vecna, allowing Steve, Robin, and Nancy to set him ablaze, though he flees before getting killed, right in time to prevent him from finishing Max, although she still passes due to her injuries, with Elle using her powers to restart her heart. At the end, Vecna's gates open and tear through Hawkins, after which Elle and others witness how the Upside Down infiltrates the world around them. In the Season 5, Elle, the party, and the others are continuing their journey on the path to fighting against Vecna, a task complicated by the reinforced efforts of the government to find and capture Elle, forcing her into hiding, while she prepares to take part in the hardest and most deadly battle she has ever faced before, alongside her friends and family standing together with her. Finally, in the animated sci-fi TV show Stranger Things, Tales from '85, which is a direct spin-off of the live-action TV series, taking place between the events of the second and third seasons, Elle appears together with Mike, Will, Lucas, Dustin, and Max as they face new challenges and confront unknown monsters while having to solve a paranormal mystery, as her CGI-animated incarnation, voiced by Brooklyn Davy Norstead,